Ma'am, cutting like that is barely making a difference.
I know, I'm doing the best I can.
At that speed, this yard is gonna look bad for a long time.
Ma'am, she's already out here trying.
Trying doesn't make this yard look better.
Yeah.
Then I'll help her finish it, but you don't need to shame her.
Tall grass is easy to criticize from across the street. People notice the rough edges, the uneven patches, and the yard that still looks unfinished. But they miss the slow hands pushing the mower, the tired body behind it, and the quiet pride of someone who is still trying not to give up on her own home. I was cutting a lawn across the street when I saw an elderly woman trying to push an old mower through her front yard. The grass was green, tall, and uneven, and the mower was barely getting through it. She would push a few feet, stop to catch her breath, then push again. The yard was rough around the sidewalk edge, driveway, mailbox, porch steps, bushes, and fence line. But she was not ignoring it. She was out there doing what she could. Then the woman from next door walked over and said, "Ma'am, cutting like that is barely making a difference." The old woman looked down at the mower and said, "I know. I'm doing the best I can." The neighbor looked across the yard and said, "At that speed, this yard is going to look bad for a long time." The old woman went quiet, and I could see the shame on her face. That was when I turned off my mower and walked over. I said, "Ma'am, she's already out here trying." The neighbor crossed her arms and said, "Trying doesn't make this yard look better." I told her, "Then I'll help her finish it, but you don't need to shame her." Before I go on, drop your US state in the comments. I want to see how far this story can spread across America. The old woman tried to tell me she did not want to bother anyone, but her hands were shaking from holding the mower too long. She said she used to cut the yard every week, but lately her legs got tired faster, and the mower felt heavier than it used to. She said, "I just don't want people thinking I stopped caring." I told her, "Ma'am, you are standing out here in this heat pushing a mower. That tells me you still care." I asked her to sit on the porch and rest while I got my equipment. First, I trimmed the front walkway, porch steps, sidewalk edge, and driveway so the entrance looked clean again. Then, I mowed the front yard slowly because the grass was thick and uneven. After that, I trimmed around the mailbox, bushes, fence line, porch, corners, side of the house, and every spot the mower could not reach. I cleaned the curb and opened up the front of the house so it looked cared for from the street. Finally, I used the blower to clear the porch, walkway, sidewalk, curb, and driveway. When I finished, the yard looked simple, clean, and peaceful again. The neighbor did not say much after that. She just looked at the clean grass and walked back home. The old woman stood on the porch, holding the railing, and whispered, "I was trying not to be a burden." I told her, "Ma'am, needing help does not make you a burden." She looked across the yard and said, "Thank you for seeing the effort before the mess." That stayed with me, because this was never just about grass. It was about an elderly woman who still had pride, still loved her home, and only needed help before shame made her feel smaller. Before judging an elderly person's overgrown yard, remember they may already be out there trying with the strength they have left. Like this video, follow for more stories, and comment "Pride" for every senior who deserves help without being shamed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.